Hey, my friend DK here. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell icon so you get notified anytime I upload new content, and you, my friend, will be the first to know. So, what I want to dive into in this video today is 5 tips to starting a side hustle if you're over the age of 40. Now, I used that very loosely and very lightly. I mean, obviously, at any age, if you're watching this video, you should start a side hustle. So it doesn't really matter. But what's been trending a lot lately is folks that are over 40 that are looking to supplement their income, especially as we head fully into 2025. Of course, at the time of this video, it is January of 2025. Now, why should you listen to me? Why should you pay attention to anything that I'm going to tell you here in this video? Well, I am currently 47, almost 48 years old, and I have been a full-time online digital marketer for almost 7 years now. I got my start back in 2016. It took me about a year and a half of trying, struggling, failing. I dabbled in, dozens of different things all throughout 2016. It wasn't until the end of that year where I learned some really incredible concepts, and one specific thing that we'll talk about here in this video, which is ILT, invest, learn, teach. That means that I started investing my time, sometimes money. I would learn things and I would turn around and I would teach that to other people. That acronym, that concept literally changed my financial future. And that's exactly what I'm sharing with you here today. More of that ILT. I have learned, I've invested my time into things. I have learned things over the years, and now I'm turning around and I'm sharing that here with you. Thus, again, proving that concept and continually doing that concept here for years on my channel. And of course, all across social media and my home-based business. So plain and simple, my friends, if you are over the age of 40 and you're looking to create an extra income, or you're looking to start a side hustle, whatever age you are, you should have a side hustle. Let's dive into the why right now. Okay, we're going to go over 5 specific things in this video. Number 1 is the why. Why should you even start a side hustle? Why should that be important to you? Why bother, right? Number 2, what's available out there for side hustles? What are some things that you could do? We're going to talk about that. Number 3, getting started. Some really important tips that you need to understand when you are getting started if you want to become successful with that side hustle. And many taking their side hustle like I did many years ago and turning that into a full-time income, meaning you might be able to walk away from a job that you hate. You might be able to do this full-time from home, and this might go from a passion project to a full-time gig, which again, happened to me many, many years ago. Now, every single day I get to show up, I get to do what I love, I get to help lots of people all over the world, and it's freaking awesome. Okay. Number 4, taking what you're learning and then getting really good at it. Like, what does that look like for you? And then number 5, I'm going to give you my pro tip, again, for doing this for the last 7 years, many of those years full time. I'm going to give you some tips that, you may want to consider thinking about as you are starting your side hustle. Okay, so let's circle back to number 1. Now, why would you want to start a side hustle? I'm going to start drawing here on the dry erase board, and it may get a little sloppy, it may get a little messy, but I'm going to try to do my best to kind of articulate what I'm talking about here, so in a way that you can understand it and you can hopefully grab the proof of concepts that I'm talking about here. So number 1, let's just be blatantly obvious. The number 1 reason, and I think this is 90, probably 9% of people, 99% of people go with, why would they want to start a side hustle right now? And the number 1 answer is money. Most people want to make more money, which is why they start a side hustle. Now, what are the alternatives there? What are some other reasons besides money, okay, that you would want to start a side hustle? Well, some people, it could be a passion project. So I'm just going to put PP right here, passion project. Okay. Some people like to explore their passions, whether it's, some people might want to start a YouTube channel on wine, and some people might want to start a YouTube channel and do reviews on, like, I collect knives. 2 things I collect as an example. I collect knives and I collect watches. I know when my video is bigger, you see that some of my other videos, I have watch winders back here where I'm an avid watch collector. I could do watch reviews. I could share my passion, whether that makes me a significant income or not, it could still bring me a lot of joy. I also collect bourbon. I love the art of bourbon. I love the learning about the history of it and the ingredients and just so many other things. I could create a YouTube channel, or you could create a YouTube channel on doing reviews of bourbon, and again, it may not bring you a full-time income, but it may bring you some joy because it is a passion of yours. So there's a lot of different reasons why you would want to start a side hustle. But again, most people want to do it because of the money. So I want you to think of the reasonings for you. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. And I'm just giving you some life experience here. Again, 7 years in the industry, 7 years of having a home based side hustle. I started for this and it turned into this. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. And some people it will go the other way around. And it can kind of go both ways. It really depends on you, your preferences, why you're doing this, but ultimately you have to understand why. Okay. And when we get into some pro tips, when we talk about getting good, we're going to talk more about this why, because your why, your reasoning for doing this, it has to be concrete. It has to be precise. It has to be specific. Okay. So ultimately, before we dive too far further down the list, okay, you really need to know why. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose for doing this? Be specific, be precise, preferably write it down. And I'll give you one last tip before we move on to number two. Write it down, create a goal, and put it into SMART goal format. Okay, so SMART goal format. I'm just going to write the word SMART up here. So think about your goals, know why, and put that into SMART goal format. So like I told you at the beginning here, this dry erase board is going to start to get a little sloppy. There's going to be a lot of stuff over here. So kind of pay attention to one chunk at a time. Okay, so number one, why would you want to start? Most people start for money, making additional money. And, from experience, please understand here what I'm telling you here is I've been doing this full time. So full time meaning that you can create a full-time income from home all on a phone really these days. You don't need fancy stuff. I have fancy equipment. I have lighting and I have multiple monitors and I have, microphones and boom stands and special cameras and all that other stuff. You don't need that stuff. I've just acquired this stuff over the years. But you can start today, right now, with literally one device. Whatever you're watching this video on, you can start with that. You can start with literally next to nothing. You don't need to be fancy. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we get down to like number 4, getting good, or even number 3, getting started. Okay, so figure out why you want to do this. Put it down in a SMART goal format. And I say SMART goal format. If you don't know what that is, you can go look it up. But the SMART is an acronym. Stands for specific, measurable, attainable, or achievable, realistic, and then time bound or time specific. So meaning you're going to put a goal into SMART goal format. So it's something that's realistic that you can actually go reach for, that actually is attainable. It's measurable, all of those things. But the most important reason why I say know why you want to do this and then have a goal to go after, because ultimately it's going to circle back to this. Everything I can go over today and everything for you thinking about starting a side hustle. If you don't know what you're reaching for, how could you possibly expect to achieve it? Like, you don't just go willy-nilly jumping in, starting something without a specific desired result that you're reaching for. Because if you don't have anything to reach for, it's going to be super easy to quit. Okay? So I want you to think long and hard about that one. You don't want to give yourself an easy out. You don't want to start something just to turn around and quit 2 weeks later because you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you're after, or you don't know why you're doing it. You have to know your why. Okay? So all those things right there, very, very, very important. Okay? Take a sip of coffee here. And you'll notice about my content, you'll notice in this video, I'm not going to do any fancy edits. I could certainly put B-roll behind this, and I can have all kinds of fancy B-roll, and I could put music and theatrics to this video. But most of my videos, I like to keep very raw and real, and I just like to talk directly to you. So I hope you're okay with that. Again, if you are, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor, go ahead and do that so I can continue to put out more content and help you navigate this online space that we're all in right now. Okay. Number two, what's available? Now, I could literally be here for an hour talking about this one concept. So I'm going to try to keep it really short, concise, and to the point. Okay. For me, I have always been personally into network marketing, and I like that for, like I mentioned, I'm 47 now. I first got introduced to network marketing back in my early 20s. And, you know, trust me, I'm going to get into more than just network marketing. We're going to talk about affiliate marketing. We're going to talk about creating courses and ebooks and, all those different ways using free methods for starting your own business. We're going to talk about all of those here inside of what's available, certain proofs of concept for you to understand so you can figure out which pathway that you may want to go down. So I'll try to keep this section as to the point as possible, but I also want you to have an understanding of what is available, what you can be doing. For me, I love affiliate marketing and I love network marketing. I love those two things. They just work really, really well for me. Network marketing, I started back in my early 20s. I was introduced to, your traditional style of network marketing. I had a friend who invited me to a home party, and it was, they were selling magnets and, it was all this, stuff like that. But that time period, that thing that I went through back in my early 20s, it opened me up to the idea of making income from home. And that is what really landed with me. It wasn't getting into things like supplements or doing home parties or doing any of that really, let's just call it traditional crap that most people don't want to do. I don't want to do that, and that's not what I do. Okay. So, but it opened my eyes to what was possible, because back then I started having lunches and dinners with people that were making six figures per month. Literally, I had a lunch with a top producer in the industry at the time, and he was making over $400,000 per month. Now, when you're in your early 20s, that left a huge impression on me. And I thought, oh my gosh, if this guy could do it. And this guy at the time was in his 60s, and he was just cool as a cucumber, chill, wasn't really like, didn't get on camera a lot. He was just a very laid back, easygoing dude, and he's making $400K a month. That just opened up the door for me as to what was possible having my own home-based business. And since then, I literally never looked back. Okay. So it wasn't until 2016 that I actually got into the online digital world. I took a lot of time off between my 30s and so on. Anyway, story for another time. But anyway, what is available out there for you? So you have things like affiliate marketing, you have network marketing, you have nowadays it's a little easier to go do your own thing, but we'll get into that when we talk about, getting good, because one of the pro tips that I'm going to give you at the end here, I'm going to jump around a little bit, is don't reinvent the wheel. Don't try to, at least in the beginning, this is one of the pro tips that I can give you now in the beginning / middle of this video here, is don't try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel, the concepts, the strategies, all that stuff is already out there for you to utilize. So don't try to completely start from scratch, completely build everything from the ground up on your first day, because that's going to be one of the easiest outs for you. It's going to give you one of the easiest outs to give up and quit, because you're trying to do it all. You're trying to literally reinvent the wheel. Okay. So we'll circle back to that. But there's a lot of rabbit holes here on social media that you could fall into where, people will say, oh, you got to go create an ebook. You got to go put a course together. You got to go do this or do that. And a lot of those things are intended to get you to pay money to learn how to do things. Here on my YouTube channel, I just like to teach everybody for free exactly what I do and how I do it, because I don't believe in charging people to learn. College will charge you enough money, and most of the time you don't make money when you get out of college. So, there's a better way in life to learn, and you shouldn't have to go pay just, thousands of dollars just to take someone's course to learn how to do something, and then you still have to go figure out how to integrate and build everything out all on your own anyway. So, anyway, I'll step off that soapbox here for a minute, but the point is there's many avenues you could go. Network marketing, affiliate marketing, creating courses, creating coaching programs, creating ebooks. The tricky part about those things, the courses, the coaching programs, and the ebooks, is you could use things that are available today like ChatGPT to kind of help you navigate some of those spaces, but then you still have to buy all of the platforms and you still have to put it all together. That can be a very tricky, confusing, complicated process, especially if you're not techie. Okay. So, and it could also, if you want to go that route, if you want to start from scratch, if you want to create your own home-based business about a passion project, and this is why we'll circle back to number one right here. Okay. If you try to take a passion project, and I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying it's a little harder of a road to go down when you're doing it just for the money. A lot of the stuff out there that you want to use is already done for you. If you want to take a passion project and turn that into a side hustle, you're more starting from scratch. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So when you're looking at what's out there, so we'll just put, NM, network marketing, you have a lot of things that are pre-built for you. Okay. If you want to do AM, affiliate marketing, which, these days, to be honest with you, affiliate marketing is very, very similar to network marketing. And I just want to put this out there as a disclaimer that the old school traditional ways of things like network marketing, where you're doing home parties, you're doing three-way calls, you're, walking around talking to strangers in malls, and it's all that traditional crap that nobody wants to do. You don't have to do that. Okay. You don't have to go pitching to friends and family. There's so many better ways right now today that I practice, that I do, that works really, really well, where you don't have to do that old school stuff that most people automatically think of when it comes to, building a team or building residual income. And you can do those things with network marketing. You can do that with affiliate marketing. So if you want to go I'll just put C for like courses, coaching programs, just put E for ebooks. If you want to build all this stuff out here, courses, coaching programs, ebooks, that will tie back into passion projects where this could be, there's a big learning curve that you have to go through. Again, if you're not super techie, if you're not like familiar with how a lot of these platforms work, how to create these things, how to integrate them, building sales funnels, capture pages in and around, courses, coaching programs, and ebooks. If you're not familiar with that stuff, I'm telling you right now, affiliate marketing and network marketing may be the easier route to go here. Okay. So what's available out there? There's a lot, and it can be very, convoluted and confusing. So again, just be careful, take your time, figure out what you want to do. Again, know why you want to do this and know what you want to do and why you're doing it. Two very important things. So circle back to the why before you dive into what's available. Okay. So now let's talk about getting started. Now, this is a very, very important thing. Number one thing that I want to stress to you here, okay, when it comes to getting started is when you start your side gig, your side hustle, whatever you want to call it, and you start turning that passion, you start turning that excitement for creating additional income for you, your family, or whatever it is, treat this like a job, okay? And this is how I was able to, and I'll share with you a little story of how this kind of started to take shape. So what I'm going to put here is you want to show up every single day. I know that sounds like really simple, but every single day you need to show up. And I don't mean literally every single day, 7 days a week. I just mean, because we'll talk about when you're getting started, when that looks like for you, what that looks like for you. But if you treat this like a job over time, it can pay you like a job. Okay. Your side hustle, your side gig can turn around over time and pay you like a full-time job, like it does for me. Okay. And again, if I can do it, so can you. I came from years of working retail sales. I don't have a college degree. I didn't study marketing. I didn't study social media. I learned all of this, everything that I'm sharing with you, all from trial and error. That's it. And of course, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. So you want to show up to it every single day. You want to show up to your side gig, your side hustle, just like you would your job. Okay. And even if you want, clock in and clock out. So, how that can work for you is, whatever avenue you decide to go down, building out courses, doing a blog, doing podcasts, doing review videos on YouTube. If you have courses on that subject, if you have coaching programs, if you create ebooks on those subjects, whatever you want to start doing, whatever you want to start putting out there, then you can literally utilize this incredible thing we have called social media. Okay. And you can start doing those things and you can start putting out pieces of content and you can start building your side hustle. But you want to show up to that just like your job and you want to be as consistent as possible. Now, I'm going to put down here time block. So, what does that mean? When you're showing up, like I just mentioned before, I was going to share a little story with you. When I got started back in 2016, it took me about 6 months to really figure out how I was going to work this business, what that looked like for me, for my family, for my son, for my wife, that type of thing. So, what I committed to after about 6 to 8 months of just running around, not really knowing what was going on, after about 6 to 8 months, I committed to, at the time I was working a full-time job. I was a store manager for a very major national, actually international retailer, home improvement store. If I said the name, you would know it. Okay. I was a store manager working about 60 to 65 hours a week, making really good money, but I was not satisfied. I was not happy with my job. So as I was going through this process of learning online marketing, I dove into personal development. I dove into, figuring out, navigating this online space. And I learned some concepts and some strategies and specifically showing up. And that is what I'm sharing with you right now. So I committed to, and of course I had to negotiate with my wife and I said, hey, this is what I really want to do. This is what I'm going to focus on. So these days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, just as an example, I'm going to come home from work. We're going to have dinner. We're going to put our son to bed. And then from this time to this time, on those 4 days, I'm going to be in the office, door shut, working on my side hustle. Okay. Working on my craft, working on my skills, working on my development, learning things about online marketing, learning things about what I was doing. Okay. And I'm going to give you another pro tip right now. Okay. Please take this part seriously. If you want to study wealth, let me back that up. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. Very simple concept. And I hope that resonates with you. Write that down, please. I hope that sticks with you because that for me is what enabled me to learn the things that I did, putting the time in. I started studying online marketing. I started studying affiliate tools and resources. I started studying how to get good on social media. So if you want to become wealthy, study wealth. If you want to become good at marketing, study marketing. Okay? So every single day I showed up during the time frames that I allotted myself and I blocked out that time, meaning that my family, and I would suggest the same for you, and this is how you show up, is you block out the time so you can show up to your new business, your new side hustle, so you can continue to make forward progress each and every day, each and every week. So I hope that makes sense. So in getting started, there's again, a whole nother rabbit hole that you could dive down into for this, but getting started takes you taking that first step towards your passion project, towards your side hustle, towards your goal, whatever it is, your why, your thing that you're starting this for. Take that first step and don't stop stepping. Don't stop moving forward. Don't sit there and just be like, okay, I'll just stop now. Because that's how I know you could look at getting started and you'd be like, well, okay, where do I go? What do I do? What button do I click? If you know your why and you know why you're doing this, once you get started, you're not going to stop. You're going to keep learning and developing and growing just like I did all throughout 2016. But nowadays, like you can shortcut, a lot of those curves because there's so much information, there's so much learning out there for you. Okay? So, and we'll get to more of that as we carry on here through the next two steps. Okay? So, getting started, make sure that you show up to it every single day. That's the number one thing I can recommend to you. Like, treat this like a job. Okay? Make sure that you time block, make sure that you know when you're going to work your side hustle and be consistent with it. The number one thing here is consistency. Okay? I'm not going to try to write that out with my trackpad, but I'll just put a big old C right here. Consistency is the number one thing inside of getting started. Okay? Number one thing. Make sure that you are consistency. Consistency will win always. Okay? End of story. Now, let's talk about getting good. Okay? Let's move down to number 4. Getting good. How do you, once you get started, how do you get good? Now, for me, I'll give you some examples. And I know it's a little tough to see, but over my shoulder here, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of education behind me. Those books just aren't there for show. I have actually read all of those books. And every single day, I listen to podcasts, I listen to audiobooks. I have a playlist saved on my YouTube channel where I listen to people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Jim Rohn and Earl Nightingale and Stephen Covey and Napoleon Hill, and the list goes on and on and on. I'm going to give you a very valuable concept and a piece of understanding. Always invest into yourself. Okay, it's the only place you're guaranteed a positive return. All right. And I want you to think about this one thing right here. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, than you do on your side hustle. So I'm just going to put here, work on you. Okay. This is probably one of the most important things to understand in this entire video. Work on you. That is exactly how you get good. And what I just told you, I mean, I could literally just put this and the video would be done. Okay. But remember what I just told you. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. Each and every day, weekly, you should be working on you, investing into you. And I'll give you a perfect example of how to do this. If you are commuting to work, meaning every single day you get up and you go to your job, if you have to leave the house to do this, turn that time frame into, even if you take public transportation, it doesn't matter. If you walk, same thing. If you commute to work, turn that time frame into your investment education into yourself. Okay? Listen to empowering audios. Listen to podcasts, YouTube content, things that are in your niche, in your arena of what you're trying to learn. So if you're trying to learn how to make money online, if you are trying to learn how to do network marketing, if you're trying to learn how to do affiliate marketing, if you're trying to learn about how to create a passion project, then you should be listening to audios utilizing that time frame that you're traveling to work. So for me, back in 2016, when I was still working a job, what I was doing is when I was driving 1 hour to work and 1 hour home, my truck was literally, a mobile classroom. I stopped listening to news radio. I stopped listening to music, and I started listening to empowering audios. I started learning how to do things, learning how to create better content, learning how to do network marketing better, learning how to do affiliate marketing better, learning how to create certain things online. I learned how to do that while I was commuting to and from work. Okay, so I used that time wisely. That is how you get good and you get better at what you do. Each and every single day, you should be focused on your own personal education. I'm going to give you another concept here. Again, please take this very seriously. Okay. Formal education, college, school, whatever, formal education will make you a living. Self education can make you rich. Let me say that again for the cheap seats in the back. Formal education will make you a living. Self education can make you rich. So the more you invest into you, the better you can get and the more skill sets you can learn. The more skill sets you learn, the more valuable you become. The more value you become, the more money you can make. So, if you look at my channel, what I've done here, I've learned so many things over the years. Remember that acronym that I shared with you a little while ago? ILT, Invest, Learn, Teach. That's what I've been doing essentially full time for the last 6 years. I take my time, sometimes money, I learn things, and then I turn around and teach that to other people. That's it. Okay. I'm constantly learning new things and I'm constantly turning around and teaching those things to other people, always investing into me, myself. And I would encourage you to always invest into you. You never, ever stop learning. There's never a point where you say, okay, cool, I've learned enough, I can stop. No, let's always be learning together. That is how you get good. That is how you increase your skill sets. Because again, circling it back to the why, if you know why you're doing this, if your why is strong enough, you will be determined enough. You will figure this out. Okay. Once you know your why and you know why you're doing this and you invest into yourself every single day, you commit to you, your mindset, your attitude, your personal development, your skill sets. If you commit to that and truly commit to that, all the fear, the doubt, the know-how, the not, there's three common excuses in this industry. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. All of those excuses will fade away once you commit to yourself. So the I don't know how will go away. You have the internet at your damn fingertips. How could you possibly say you don't know how to do something? It's just a lie to yourself. I don't have enough time. You could have this side hustle up and running, doing its thing in about an hour a day. I'm sure you waste more time than that scrolling on social media. Okay. I don't have enough money. How bad do you want it? You could say, I don't have enough money to get started. Most side gigs out there online, you could start for less than $100. And if you're going to say, well, I don't have $100, go get it. How bad do you want it? Go out into your neighborhood, depending on where you live, go shovel some driveways, go mow some lawns, go, figure it out. Go sell some things that are in your house. How bad do you want it? You can make the excuse that you don't have the money, or is it really you're just not willing to do what it takes to go get the money? There's a big difference. Okay. So in order to get good, focus on you. Okay. Now, lastly, let's talk about some pro tips. Okay. Again, just kind of being here, doing this full time for many, many, many years. Okay. One of the biggest things that I can tell you when getting started, and I wish I knew this because it took me a little over a year to really figure this out, because when I got started in 2016, I tried to create most things from scratch. And that was very tricky because my why and my figuring out which direction I want to go, I didn't really have that locked down. So I tried to create everything. So one of the tips that I can give you is, again, do not reinvent the wheel. Okay. So here's the wheel, right? Here's the big old wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay. Use what's already working in the marketplace. And the marketplace is just short for reality. Use what already is out there and is already working. I'll give you an idea here, and I'll give you an example. About 4 years ago, I created a system because I was tired of me getting results and a lot of people that were following me, a lot of people that were, maybe even on my team or working with me, not being able to get the same results that I have. So I built out a system. And by the way, link in the description down below if you want to go see what that is. I'll even put it in the comments. It will literally say to, if you want to review, Daniel's system or see what I do and how I do it, go here. I'll put that in the description down below. So I created a system that walked someone like you, the brand newest person, through what I do and how I do it, what's available to you, and taking you step by step through a training series of exactly this whole process that we're talking about now, taking this and applying it and having an affiliate offer, okay, right here, having an affiliate offer on the back end that you could turn around and go market. And you didn't have to, like as if you were starting a passion project, you don't have to start from scratch because all of the techie stuff, sales funnels and email marketing and all of those things are all tied in there, all built into that training system that I have built out. That helps. It was designed really for me when I kind of designed it for myself when I first got started, as if I was helping a brand new person like you, takes the brand newest person, plugs them in, shows them exactly what to do. Now, if you're looking to just make money, you could simply plug into a system like that, follow the training steps, do the work, and the work is literally just creating little pieces of content and putting it out there on social media. Now, the good news is no matter what you're going to do here, when you're starting a side hustle, chances are it's going to involve creating some content. So here's a big clue, big news flash for you. For those of you guys that are introverts, you don't want to get on camera, you're super shy, but you still want to make money online. Like at the end of the day, if you want to make money online, you need to sell something. So whether it's an ebook, a course, whether it's, affiliate marketing, network marketing, at the end of the day, you have to sell something and you have to find a way to sell it. If you don't want to create content, it's either A, going to be really difficult, or B, going to be very expensive. Because if you're not going to put yourself on camera, you could do a faceless channel, but it's going to take more time because people need to know, like, and trust you. And if you're not creating content where you're not showing your face, it will take people more time to warm up to you and who you are and what you represent because they can't see you. If you want to go the alternative route and you want to do paid advertising, that's cool, but now you're going to start investing money. You have to ask yourself, how much money are you willing to invest and how long are you willing to do that in order to get a return? The easiest solution is social media. Okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this video right now. You're identifying with me, understanding me, especially if you made it to this point in the video. By the way, if you did and you haven't hit that subscribe button, go do that now. Smash that thing. Hit the bell icon. That way you'll know anytime I upload new content, you'll be the first to know. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Social media is number one, the easiest way to start a side hustle over 40. And here's also one of the things that I want to really drive home. Okay. If you are over 40, okay, and you're starting a side gig right now, you already have something that most people don't have. Most people that are your age or younger, like most people don't have this. And this is a real thing. You ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. You have experience. You have life experience. You have learned a lot of stuff over the years, regardless of what it is, how to treat people, how to be a good person, how to keep moving forward, how to have good work ethic. You have experience. You have ILT. You have invested time into life. And you could literally take what you've learned and teach that to other people. And that's a cool freaking thing. And most people don't think on that level. Most people don't think about that. But you have plenty to share with people. And that's why it's really important if you are 40 plus, you could start a side gig today. And regardless of what you're doing, whether it be network marketing, affiliate marketing, courses, whatever, document your journey. Remember this. This is going to be an easy one. Write it down. Document, document, document. Document your journey. Share that with others. Very simple concept. Very, very simple concept. People love a journey. They love watching and following along with people on their journey. You will get supporters. And I'm going to tell you another pro tip and a super important concept here. Fuck what people think. Okay? Other people's opinions do not pay your bills. Your biggest supporters, your biggest fans, are going to be people that you do not know. Your biggest critics are going to be the people closest to you. But again, their opinions don't pay your bills. Okay? So circle back to number one. If you know why you want to do this, if you're driven and you make that decision, the world is your oyster, my friend. You can crush it out. You can rock it. And you can keep moving forward. You could apply all of these things that I've shared with you in this video. Okay? Utilize the tools and resources that you have. Utilize everything that is at your fingertips. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just go get started. Now, here's the last thing that I'll talk about here. Okay? Maybe. I was working with a friend years ago, and he was a friend that I grew up with, a childhood friend. And he reached out to me shortly after I started my online journey. I was already making a full-time income. And he reached out to me and he saw what I was doing. He saw my YouTube channel. He said, wow, look at Daniel. Like he's doing what I want to do. Okay. So he reached out and he said, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. He, at the time, had a passion project. He wanted to create ebooks and courses and then sell them from scratch. And his name was Russell. And I reached out and we were chatting. We were on the phone. And I said, Russell, listen, I said, I love what you're talking about. I love, the direction you're going. And I think it's great. But it's also a huge mountain to climb when you're starting from scratch. So what I recommended to Russell, I said, hey, what you may want to do is you may want to do some affiliate marketing first. You may want to go use a proven system that's already out there, already working. Like I mentioned to you, like a system that I have. Or, I mean, you could use somebody else's system. That's fine. I'm just giving you the education. But at the time that I spoke to Russell, I didn't have a system, but I was using somebody else's system. So hopefully you can understand that. I said, you may want to use a system that's already working, that's already, other people are already using this and getting great results. You may want to go do this for 6 months, 12 months or so. Learn the process, understand the flow of how things work in the online space. And then once you have your feet wet, once you understand the basic flow of putting out pieces of content, bringing in people, plugging in people to sales funnels, getting them to see a business presentation, getting them to sign up, generating commissions, all of those things. Once you get a feel for that, then you can start to develop your thing, your passion project on the side. Okay? But I recommended to him, hey, just get your feet wet first by promoting other people's products. Get used to something that's already out there, that's already working, that's been proven. Do that first. And he did that, and he made sales, and he learned a lot. And now, today, 2025, he has a full-time online business. He has ebooks, he has courses, he has coaching programs, and he makes a full-time income online. So I'm sharing that with you because as you're getting started here and as you're thinking of different ways to get started, again, don't reinvent the wheel. I would recommend to you go use something that's already in place, that already works. Figure out the basic flow of information, figure out the basic flow of how things are working, how you can create pieces of content, how you can get people to a capture page, how you can generate a lead and an affiliate commission. And you got to know this is also really important too, like what you're looking at, whether it be an affiliate system, a network marketing system, courses, coaching programs, whatever. If you're looking at a system to get started with, if other people are using it and it's working, if it works for them, it can work for you too. There's already proof in concept. Versus if you tried to build everything else from scratch and it wasn't proven, you really don't know if it's going to work. You're just hoping it's going to work. So it's going to be easier to plug into something that does work, that's proven. There is proof of concept that you can learn the basic skills and skill sets, do them, get good at them, and then once you learn some good basic skill sets and fundamentals, you can sell anything. You can turn that passion project into whatever you want once you understand the basic concepts of the flow of information and how things work. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you learned some things. I hope you have a basic understanding of, tips to getting started and directions you may want to go. So please put some thought into it, make the right decision for yourself. But now there's never a perfect time, but I can tell you there's no better time than right now to start that journey, to start that process. Speaking from experience, please take my experience over the years as, the info, the fuel, the whatever you want it to be for you to help you get your start and start this online journey. If you have any questions for me, please do me a favor, drop a comment down below or send me a text message. I'll leave my number right here at the top of this video. And of course, lastly, if you made it to this point in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. You'll be the first to know when I put out new content. If you want any more information about me, what I do it, how I make my full-time income, I'll leave some links in the description down below. You can go check that information out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.